All right, Alec, what's going on? It's December.
It's December. We're well into December, but that's okay. We still have to talk about what we
That
enjoyed
to
last
talk about.
month.
We had
Yeah,
to talk about
we have to talk
November.
about. We have to talk about the month of November.
We have to give thanks for November. Shout out to November
Yeah,
2020.
Sep-
Great month.
September, October, no wonder. Uh,
Okay, wow. So, in case you don't know, every month we do this little thing where we talk about favorite things that we experienced that month. We each
yeah.
bring three things to highlight and bring to the table. All right, it's not things that came out the month necessarily. It's just anything we enjoyed within that month. All
hmm
right. So, what is something you would like to highlight this evening?
So one thing I want to highlight is Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. That did actually
Ooh,
come out last month
might be a
in
Kingdom Hearts
November.
up my alley.
Oh yeah, okay.
Rhythm game, baby,
This
give
is
it to
it is
me.
a rhythm game. It's gonna have spoilers for the entire series, just so you know. um, to a point, anyway. So I really like this game a lot. It's pretty simple. In terms of, I was gonna say it is kind of a one button game, but it's really not actually at all. If you're playing on the easiest difficulty, which I think is beginner. If you're playing on that, which is like I can't go back to that at all. It's a total snooze fest. It's very simple. It's pretty much just following just simple rhythms and stuff. But as you get when you playing the game on proud is very challenging. And it's a good, very satisfying challenge. It's just a beautiful celebration of the soundtracks of all of the Kingdom Hearts games. It has, I think, 140 tracks, give or take. I think it's a little more than that, but that's the number that they've sort of touted a lot. I think there's a couple more than that. But funnily enough, I learned that this game came about because Yoko Shimomura. I think it was during the concert tour. She just said something to the effect of like, "Wouldn't it be great if there was a game that just had all this music in it?" And so they were like, "Yeah, let's make a rhythm game."
Mm-hmm.
That was like her suggestion that they make it. So very cool. Yeah, it's just a simple, fun rhythm game with the music from the Kingdom Hearts. It's sort of you sort of go through the worlds in the gummy ship in like a world map sort of scenario. You like basically you access all the tracks that way. There's like little story recaps and stuff that happen periodically, just kind of recapping the adventures and things. And it's all the way through Kingdom Hearts 3. So it even kind of there the Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff is sort of like very limited. There's only like maybe six. No, it's probably more than that. There's only kind of a handful of tracks from that game, in particular, and unlike most of the rest of the game, where it's like you have like your playboard, where it's like sort of like a Guitar Hero type thing, where you have your three characters, so Sora, Donald, and Goofy for one team. Then you've got like Aqua, Ventus, and Terra for another team, and so there's like four different teams or whatever that you could use. All of which doesn't really matter. It's just more
Like Sonic
like
Heroes.
it's just like who do you want to do it with? That's more or less what it is.
Oh, wow.
Uh, and you do level them up, which sort of doesn't really matter all that much unless you're playing on harder difficulties. Then it kind of matters, sort of.
Mm-hmm. Sounds a
Um,
lot like Theatrhythm Final Fantasy.
it's very, from what I understand, it's very similar to Theater Rhythm. Very similar. And
So it might be something I could get into because
yeah,
I'm not like a super Final Fantasy fan either, but I
yeah.
appreciate the music and I like those games. So
Yeah, I mean, if it's something where it's like you're not overly concerned about the story or whatever, or you don't care about being spoiled a bit about the games or whatever, like, yeah, absolutely go for it. The only original, so there is some like unique to this game. There's story in this game, but most of it comes at it's like the last level of the game. So it's like the last half hour, 45 minutes of the game are like, it's like all new content. But other than that, it's pretty much just recap. And I know some fans were like disappointed in that, but I'm not. I was like, the fact that we get two Kingdom Hearts well, we get a DLC and a full game from Kingdom Hearts in 1 year is amazing.
mm-hmm.
Like that we don't that we never get that. Kingdom Hearts fans know disappointment when it comes to like waiting for the next game. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen very often. So it's definitely fun. interesting teases for the future is kind of what the story ends up being. And that's cool. That's all I really need.
Yeah.
I played the game quite a lot, so I've had a really good time with it. So one of my favorites of the year, really. I've really enjoyed it a lot.
Well,
So
that's fun.
yeah.
All right. Well, my first thing I want to highlight is this right here. This is churches with
Oh,
a
okay.
V. You know churches. I talked about them before.
Yeah, their
Um,
music was in Death Stranding,
Death
correct?
Stranding,
Yeah,
Mirror's Edge 2.
yeah. Beautiful music. I love.
Yeah.
It's great music. They
But
make
this
great
this
music.
album in particular, like I've previously when I talked about churches, I had only really listened to one of their albums, their most recent one, the Love Is Dead one. But I went back and bought their Every Open Eye album right here, and the
Hmm.
other one too, which I don't remember the name of. I've been listening to that one more recently, but this one's great. You know, I love the newest album, but this one's really stand out. It's just great music. Churches was like I literally was introduced to it from the Game Awards when they did their performance.
Oh yeah.
That's when I was like, oh, let me just check it out. It's not usually the kind of the band that I would look into, but glad I did. It's great. That's all there really is to it.
Yeah. My it wasn't Churches, but there's another band that my brother got me a CD for my birthday, and I don't remember the name off the top of my head. But they're involved in a lot of video games,
Mm-hmm.
particularly stuff that Remedy does. So they were in like Alan Wake, Control, Quantum Break.
Okay, yeah.
Swedish band. I don't remember their name though. They're
Mm-hmm.
really good. I like them a lot.
Churches,
Kind of
they have a really unique sound. It's like,
they're very they kind of to me it's kind of like indie pop, indie rock, kind of a little bit. Is I think it would be the closest thing I would relate it to.
mm-hmm.
This other band is sort of like they're basically just alternative rock, more or less. But I don't remember the name. But regardless,
But it's interesting. Churches is like a lot. It sounds like you can tell why they are asked to do video game music because it sounds like it
yeah,
would work well with it.
yeah,
And there's a
it's
lot of
they're
like synth stuff mixed in there, and it's really cool sound.
yeah. I need to try to give them to listen to them more. They're good. So another really big thing happened this past month in terms of games. Another game that is taking up a lot of my time is something I alluded to last month, but Destiny 2 Beyond Light
Mm-hmm.
launched this month. I've been spending a lot of time playing that game. I was able to beat the raid in. So there's okay. So base expansion launched, and I played that not nearly as much as some of my friends who I had a friend who took a week off of work to play it, basically nonstop. Um, I didn't get to do that, but I did. I was able to complete the story of the expansion, do some grinding in the late game stuff or end game kind of content, and the raid came out. There was whenever the new raid launches, which is usually about 10 days to 2 weeks after the expansion's out, and the first day they always have like a huge challenge where they have it so that they have it on like a challenge sort of mode where they make it so that all the enemies are or I should say, yeah, I think it's all the enemies are more powerful, or they nerf the levels of all the people playing so that it's basically fair for everybody. So I think it's like Pokemon competitive where all Pokemon are at level 50. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of similar to that where it's like it caps their level at a certain place, which also makes the raid extremely hard because all the enemies are very strong. So you have to be good at the game. So on day one, my clan tried running it, weren't able to get a day one completion. They kind of got hard stuck on one of the encounters that basically everyone playing the raid got stuck on for about 4 hours, I would say. One encounter, it was very challenging. But after that day one, they kind of release it so that it's off that challenge mode. I watched some of the race, both my clan do it and then other streamers trying to go after it, and so that was fun. And in addition to that, I was able to run and beat the raid actually twice now. I've done it, and it's great, absolutely phenomenal game. That beating the raid unlocked new content in the expansion, which is kind of a thing they started doing in raids, which I think is very fun and very interesting, and sort of gives an incentive to keep playing the game. So I'm able to get a jacket for that raid. So because I completed it before December 1st, they give you a code so that you can order. Well, you have to buy it. But this time it was a jacket. It was a winter jacket.
They give you a code to buy something.
Yeah.
So what a treat.
No, well, I mean, it's cool because it's an incentive, because otherwise, if you hadn't done the thing, if you hadn't gotten the little achievement thing, you don't have any opportunity to purchase the goods. So it's like, yeah, it's like, okay, they're making us pay for it, but at the same time, it's like it's a bonus thing to encourage you to play the game and have a good time with it, because it's like, oh, I like that piece of merchandise, I want to buy that. Well, you have to play the game in order to do that. So I got a new winter coat from that, which probably isn't going to ship out till like July. So, but I'm very excited to have that, to be able to get that. Beyond Light takes place on Europa, the moon of one of the moons of Jupiter, and it is an ice world. This is the first time we've had anything like this in Destiny, and it's one of my favorite video game locations ever.
You're vibing with the ice.
I'm vibing with the ice and the snow. I'm vibing crazy. I like the summer, I like the fall, but man, the winter's got something really special. It's got a unique kind of feel to it.
It's different.
It hits different. And I really like winter scenarios, winter settings and stuff like that. Is really like, great. Frozen, like the movie Frozen. Yeah, that's a good movie.
That's a good movie. You're gonna play Metro Exodus.
I should. Those games look great.
Snowy box art, that's for sure.
Oh, real snowy box art. Wow. Yeah, geez, look at that thing. So one last thing about Destiny 2 Beyond Light, some of the best music I've heard all year in video games. It's up there with the soundtrack to Hades, as in terms of how good it is. In terms of Final Fantasy VII Remake, also has a great soundtrack.
Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memories.
I mean, that doesn't have many original tracks, but sure.
It's got great music, I heard.
It does have really good music. Anyway, yeah. It's. I just really like the fact that the music in Destiny's always been great. This music in this expansion is some of the best that they've ever made. It's really, really great, and there's not a track on the soundtrack that I dislike. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. They should make a Destiny musical rhythm game.
That would be very weird, but I'd kind of be here for it. Yeah.
What if every game had a rhythm game for it? It's just you had to do it. It was like
a Metroid rhythm game.
So it was just a part of the video game industry. It's just a thing.
It's just a rhythm game, Pokemon rhythm game.
Oh, well, that would be great, actually. Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm just looking at the memorabilia I have right here, and I was like, a Persona rhythm game, and I was like, yeah, they have one actually. Persona dancing.
Watch Dogs rhythm game.
I mean, hey, when that game came out, who knew? It could have led to that, someday. Except the game was very.
Just like, what if that's how if you want to make a game and be successful in the industry, you have to have a rhythm game to go with it. God,
that would be terrible.
It's rough to get into the market. All right, next up, I want to talk about this. All right, Pentatonix, baby.
We're all talking about music this time around. We're just vibing. What's going on?
This is Pentatonix's new Christmas album. We need a little Christmas.
Well, they got a new Christmas album.
New Christmas album. They do one pretty much every year.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of them.
Did they have Hallelujah on it? They had that on one of them, and I was kind of like, I was like, it's a beautiful version of that. Don't get me wrong, but that's not a Christmas song.
Not a Christmas song. There's also a very notable not a Christmas song in this one. It's called "Seasons of Love." Do you know that song?
No.
It is the song from Rent. 525,000.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. No, I know that song.
Yeah. Very Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. It's really good. Their cover is really good of it.
I believe you. I just hate Rent.
But Pentatonix,
I just really don't like Rent at all.
I hate paying rent.
I mean that too.
So, Pentatonix is like one of my biggest things I'm passionate about in music. I mean, that's what my main other channel was all about for a while. It was my biggest thing.
Yeah.
But I haven't done a video on my channel in almost a year, so I haven't really talked about Pentatonix that much. but I'm still watching everything Pentatonix. Still out there.
Mm.
Coronavirus times are weird. There's not as much going on. Usually they'd be touring all over the place.
Yeah.
But they've still been putting out good stuff. Like this is a really good album. Actually, I was always someone who was like I wish they would stop with the Christmas albums sometimes. Like take a break because you're gonna run out. You're gonna exhaust the Christmas songs eventually. Right? I thought they had already gotten, and then I saw some of the songs I'm like, oh, they're scraping the bottom of the barrel now.
What are some of the what are the ones they have on here?
So we got 12 Days of Christmas.
Okay.
So I was like, what?
That was like we're scraping that's the one that would
Yeah.
to be. Okay, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
But I mean, with the song they do is about as good and innovative as you can with that song. Like they did some cool stuff with it, but as a song in general, it's just not gonna be one you rock out to very often.
I mean, the acapella version that everyone wants to hear is the straight no chaser version, where they blend all the different.
We have Rudolph, the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's like we're hitting all the Christmas ones we need to get to.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. I mean, all of them they do well.
I much prefer Frosty the Snowman to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah, we haven't had that one yet. That'll be next year.
Okay, probably. That'll be next year. We'll have Frosty. I love that song. I love Frosty the Snowman. It's, right? Always puts me in a good mood.
My favorite things. Like these are a few of my
favorite things. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. That's not really a Christmas song either.
Oh yeah, another one. When you wish upon a star.
Wait, really? From Pinocchio?
Yes.
What is this? What is? I mean, okay, we get the star of Bethlehem of what's going on. It's just the leading the Magi to
yes, something.
And
leading
leading the shepherds. No, the star led the wise men to Jesus. Did the shepherds get led by the star too? I don't think they did.
I don't know.
I don't remember. I'm terrible. Why?
Kind of are.
I've listened to this. I know this story like the back of my hand, and I can't remember that because I've heard it literally every single year of my life.
It's very much in the Christmas spirit, that's for sure. All right, Amazing Grace, which they did a music video for, which is really good. They did a really good cover of it.
Okay, that's really more of like a. It's really like more of a, just.
It's like Amazing Grace in parentheses.
General religious.
My chains are gone.
Oh, see, I don't like that version.
Oh, okay. Well, it's good for Pentatonix.
But it's good. I mean, they're great. They can sing. They can probably sing the phone book, and it would be pretty good. So
they also have an original in it called "Thank You," which is like one of my favorite Pentatonix songs now. It's really good.
Why'd they have to break my heart like that? Why'd they have to do the "My Chains Are Gone" version?
Watch the video. I mean, it's really impressive. Santa Tell Me. I actually really love that Christmas song. Santa, tell me if you're really there. Don't make me fall in love again if you won't be here next year. I know
Where's that from?
I know it from Ariana Grande. I don't know if that's an Ariana Grande thing or if she just did a I always thought she just did a cover of it, but maybe not.
Maybe it was hers. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard it before.
And then you got Jingle Bell Rock, Once Upon a December, Happy Holiday, White Christmas.
Oh, White Christmas is a great song.
We Need a Little Christmas. By the way, White Christmas is with Bing Crosby.
Oh, they have like Bing Crosby superimposed in there?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's weird. They've done that with a couple of dead people. It's like a thing they do now. They did a song with Whitney Houston last year. And who else? Someone else.
I mean, Bing's version is the version of that song. So it's like I think that's kind of neat because in a way that's sort of like respecting. That's like his.
But like they did White Christmas on their own in like their 2016 album. They did a White Christmas, but now it's
now they're doing a different version.
Yeah.
It's a little strange, but
We Need a Little Christmas is also a good song.
Yeah.
That they do, and it's the name of the album. So, and I guess it's like fitting because. Coronavirus times, we need a little Christmas.
Yeah, we do.
I'll use some Christmas.
And it's going to be for most people. It's going to be a little Christmas,
It's going to be a little Christmas this year.
It's going to be a little Christmas this year.
All right, that's it. Pentatonix, I love them.
Cool.
Love them. They're doing great stuff.
Yeah, they are. They're always an entertaining group for sure. So my last thing is just finishing off. Curse of Strahd, our D&D campaign. I've mentioned it in the past that we brought it up again. We we finished the campaign,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very exciting because that was like the first Dungeons and Dragons sort of thing that me and my friends ever started. So the fact that we actually brought a campaign to completion was very fun.
That's cool.
Um, uh, our DM left it open to potentially returning to it in the future
Did you say
because
your DMs are open?
DM.
Okay.
No, my DM is not open to anyone. Get out of there. All right, except for you, and Rusty. No, so she left it open for us to potentially come back to it in the future because she sort of has an idea of the campaign can end in several different ways, and the way it ended, she has an idea of how to continue it for like maybe a little mini campaign in the future someday. So we may do that at some point. But the next thing that we're getting ready to do is something that uh, my friend Chris is very passionate about. He's the one that got me playing it. It's more stuff about Destiny because there's a fan module called Dungeons and Destiny in which they implement the world and universe of Destiny and basically superimpose it onto the Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition sort of system.
Wow.
And they sort of so we're going to be doing a campaign in that universe and gearing up for it right now, and I'm very excited because I love Destiny, and I'm looking forward to
Mm-hmm.
having a new person DM because it will give Tara some nice time off. She needs it, and
Wait, so
it
when
will
that happens, does she get in the game? Is that
she'll
what
she'll be able to
happens?
play. Yep, she gets to play now. So it's gonna be very exciting because she's the one that's basically been taking care of us in terms of DMing for most of the time we've been playing Dungeons and Dragons. So
Mm-hmm.
so it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, that's it.
Nice. You should do a campaign themed around the Hateful Eight.
I have been so one of the things that I want to when I DM I want to DM like some one shots first, but I was actually thinking about doing like a detective kind of thing, like an
Mm-hmm.
investigation sort of role playing. I love that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I would
A little
yeah,
who done it
something
action,
like a who done it with
and then
some
everybody
murderers,
dies at the
yeah.
end.
And everybody could die at the end. Yeah, that'd be fun. Frontier justice.
Yeah. All right. The last thing I want to talk about is something known as Smash Summit 10 online.
Oh, nice.
All right. Have you heard the
Have
big hoopla about Melee and
Oh
Nintendo?
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
They've been pretty dumb recently about
been
that sort of
awful.
thing.
It's been awful. All
Been
right,
pretty
but
bad, yeah.
so around the time where famously the Big House tournament got a cease and desist from Nintendo to not run their online tournament,
Hmm.
primarily because of the use of Slippy, which is something I talked about before. Is that how Melee is doing its online? It's like literally the only way
They're
they can
just
play.
they're just jealous because it's better than the Smash Ultimate
It's
servers.
much better than Smash Ultimate. Yeah.
I mean, they've got it's being okay, it's being used by less people, granted, but it's also just got better. It's the code of it is much better because
Mm-hmm.
it's
It's
yeah,
rollback, and
yeah,
it's much better.
yeah.
But they had a cease and desist where because it was being used, they were just like no. But it's literally the only way that you can play Melee in the pandemic
Yeah.
situation.
Great.
So it was a big fu to all the Melee fans, which is fine. But like Nintendo's shown in the past that they don't care too much in general. Like they've never supported the Smash fighting scene. They've never put money into it like other games put.
Yeah, I was gonna say that if they put their money where their mouth is, I think they could make it very special. It's been very fan run basically this whole
It's all grassroots, yeah.
yeah,
And they would have easily been one of the biggest esports right now if they'd put in the
yeah.
money.
Well, I mean,
But
it when it got into when it's been Smash has been getting into Evo, like that's huge.
mm-hmm.
There are fighting games that seek to be competitive fighting games that don't get into Evo. So the
And
fact that Smash has been able to consistently over the past few years have a presence there is, you know, I think it speaks to volumes about how popular it is.
and this this whole movement has sparked a hashtag free melee, hashtag save smash everywhere. A lot of communities are coming, and big public figures are coming together in support.
They didn't air that Splatoon tournament because of it too. That was awesome. I was like, go fans. That was great. I was like, that's a ballsy move, and I was very, very happy to see that happen. Not happy to see that they didn't air it, but happy to see that they had solidarity with the Smash community. So
but this is like remind a lot of people of the back in like Evo 2014. A similar thing happened where Nintendo was like, we don't want Melee in Evo. They told them to take it out, and then there was enough backlash to where they're like, never mind, all right, you can have it in Evo.
Which is like, that seems so silly to me. Like, why would you not have? Why not? Why? What purpose does it serve to not have Melee at Evo?
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know, but that was the whole thing, and then the fans were able to rile up enough outrage that they reversed their decision. But this one, people had a feeling they wouldn't reverse the decision, and they didn't. But it's like they just keep going further and down the wrong way. Like with the Splatoon tournament, there were people using the tags like hashtag free melee and things like that as their team names. So then Nintendo announced that they were canceling the stream of the tournament, but they were still gonna have the tournament. But then like all the top 8 dropped out as a result. So then they canceled the tournament too.
Yeah.
So it's like big mess.
Yeah, that was a with. I can understand where they're coming from with Slippy. I get it. But at the same time, it's just like, is it really going to hurt anybody? You're not losing sales.
It's a 2001 game.
It's a 2001 game. You're not making new copies of it. It's not taking sales away from Smash Ultimate, which has sold extremely well. It's very popular. And that's in and of itself has its own competitive scene that's really good. So I just don't understand, really.
It's just awful. They look at this community, which has literally all been run by the passion of fans just who love the game. Like that's all it is. People like, it's not something people get in just to get money from, because it's not that lucrative. It's a grassroots thing. So it's all people who love the game, and then they're just like, no, we don't care. We're just shut that down. And it was at the point years ago where we're like, please, like, it would be great if Nintendo would put some money into this, and it would really help the community. But now it's at the point where it's like, please, Nintendo, just leave us alone.
Yeah,
so we can do our own thing.
Yeah,
it's like, and then they just shown again that they just are so tone deaf to it. It's rough.
Maybe someday, but
like there's so much outrage because also apparently they canceled some sort of charity for Etika. There was like Joy-Cons made like to honor him, and it was like for charity. They were themed.
I don't know what that's about at all, because like there's how many hundreds of Etsy shops of people doing the exact same thing, and they're doing it for profit, not donating it to charity. I don't have any idea where that's coming from.
Nintendo are just really doubling down on just being awful lately. I don't understand.
Yeah,
there's no other company that's like that, and like almost every other game presented with something like Melee, they support it wholeheartedly, and they're like, they give it money or they let it do its thing.
Capcom has been extremely supportive of wanting their games played at these tournaments. They love Street Fighter 2 still being relevant. They love people loving Street Fighter the Third Strike. They support their older games as well as obviously they want to push Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5, it's not doing well. Everyone says it's a mess. Street Fighter 5. I don't know.
But this was an opportunity for me to talk about this Smash stuff, but also, I wanted to highlight Smash Summit 10, which was an event that they still ran, even in spite of the cease and desist. They were like, we want to run this thing. And they were just trying to be hush-hush about it, and like, they kept making jokes and commentary about how they're like, this is not on, like, pretending it's not online. They're like, wow, it's crazy, how the game just skipped like that. That was crazy. It's like
the disc must be scratched or
the
something.
webcam will, like, you can tell they're on webcams and stuff with the camera footage, and they'll make jokes about that. It was funny, but it was sad at the same time because they were like, the people who ran it were talking about how it was like, it was a weird time to do it because you were worried about what was going to happen with it. But they knew that if a cease and desist was filed, that they'd have enough time to where it wouldn't go into effect before the event, like, so the event wouldn't have to be canceled. They could at least finish the event.
Yeah.
So they just went through with it, and luckily nothing happened from it. But the summit is always one of my favorite events. Like, I have this hoodie here. It's a Smash Summit branded thing.
Yeah.
Usually, I mean, the whole thing of Smash Summit is cool because they're in person and everything, and it's in this like house, and you have people just hopping on the couch doing commentary, and it's all like in this little intimate environment.
It's very family. It feels like a family, you know?
Yeah.
It's like coming home again.
But so it was different this time, but they still had a couple people on the couch, and then they patched people in online, and then people would do like their streams and stuff while they were in bracket. It's really cool.
Very cool.
Still, Melee's still my favorite game to watch competitively, so it's sad that Nintendo just continues to disrespect it and all of its fans. It's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it. November, baby.
Yeah. We had a lot to talk about, it turned out.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right.
So, if there was another episode somebody should watch of ours, something that we talk about, what should the fine people go listen to or watch after they see this?
They should obviously go watch our February 2020 favorites.
Was that our last one before our break?
I think so. I think so. Is there a prediction of something we talked about then? Do you remember anything from February that could have been talked about?
Not really. No. I mean, maybe I talked about, like, what was I playing then? I don't even remember what I was playing or watching. I probably watched something. I don't know.
Check that month out, though.
Yeah, we don't even remember.
That was
a
month before the all hell broke loose.
Yeah, month before the pre-corona times.
We were so innocent back then. We hadn't experienced life.
No.
It was such a limited life experience at the time. I've changed. We've all changed. All right. So thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to our podcast feed. Like the video. Leave a comment. Hit the notification bell. Follow us on Twitter at Tarqaron. TWO. All right.